So we're all set for the first of the semi-finals, but before that we'll have the walk-ons and then the national anthems as Team Switzerland take on Team Belgium for a place in the Sydney final.
Tennis fans, it's time to meet the teams. Can you please welcome this team representing Switzerland? Luca Casanuovo, Naima Kalamoko, Jakub Pohl, Celine Naif, your team captains Stan Wawrinka and Belinda Bencic. As we now welcome their opponents, please welcome Belgium, led by their captain, Christopher Hyman, Lara Selden, Sander Gill, Kima Kopayans, Greet Minen, Zizou Bergens, Elise Mertens. Ken Rosewell Arena, if you are able, please be upstanding for the national anthems of Switzerland and Belgium.
The Belgians in fine voice singing along to La Brabazon. I'm not quite sure whether that was the French or the Flemish version. It could be either, given the fact that it's such a bilingual country. And the slightly more somber Schweizer Psalm, I think that was the German version for the Swiss. It just really sets the stage, reminds the players how important it is to put on the tracksuit of their home nation before the battle commences out here on the Ken Rosewell Arena. Preparations for today's extreme heat would have begun yesterday or even a couple of days ago. We do keep an eye on the weather. What would they have done? What would have been the priorities to get ready physically for today?
Well, you definitely have to up your fluid intake that is water, that is also electrolytes, and you have to preferably start in the night before, as you mentioned, and just find the balance that you don't overdo it the night before, so you don't have to pee all the time,
so
because you need 8 hours of sleep. So it's so complicated to have your body at exactly the right temperature to perform your best, and then right away after waking up, straight away fluids, water, electrolytes. The problem is once you are dehydrated, it's really hard while you're under stress, under physical stress on the court, to replenish everything that you've lost. So you need to make sure you're hydrated before you even step on the court.
Yes, it's got so much more professional now, hasn't it, with fluid coaches where they measure their sweat rate. So what will be in Elise Mertens' bottle will be very different to what's in, for example, Belinda Bencic's fluid regime. And also there's also the weight loss situation, because you can lose, which I would love to play in the heat. It would be great. I'd be happy. But for a tennis player, you can lose quite a few kilos of weight out there as well. So they tend to weigh themselves before and after, so they know what fluids they have to put in.
Ladies, welcome. Couple of reminders before we start. After the coin toss, 2 photos, please. One with Matilda, one just the 2 of you. We have towels around the baseline. It has your country name on it. If you want the towels to be brought to you, you can do that, but only in these 2 corners over there. There are boxes and people will bring them. Video review, TV changeovers, and the net device shot clocks will appear at the back of the court. Please remember, for a video review, you can still video review after a point. Unless it's a hindrance, for a hindrance, you have to stop the rally, okay? Any questions? Belinda, questions? Your choice. We have heads or tails. Okay, Matilda, go. It is tails. Receive? Perfect. End the photo, please.
Mertens winning the toss and electing to receive. There's an awful lot to remember these days out on court. Matilda doing a brilliant job. She was out on court earlier today with all her hot shot friends with their mini nets. But now it's time for the big net and the big rackets to commence. And these 2 very experienced players, and we are expecting they're both played in now, aren't they? And Belinda Bencic, well, I remember her winning the girls' singles at the French Open and Wimbledon many, many moons ago, and still only 28 years of age. Seems to have been out on the tour for a long time. One of the playing mums out there, and she has been perfect here in her second appearance at the United Cup. Beat the Frenchwoman Jean-Jean, and then defeated Jasmine Paolini, which I think was a very important win, because 12 months ago when she came to the United Cup in one of her very first matches after giving birth, she was taken to the cleaners by Jasmine Paolini. That's how far she has come in 1 year. It's been a brilliant season. The WTA Comeback Player of the Year, Belinda Bencic. And Mertens also coming off, Andrea, a fantastic season. Now back in the world's top 20.
Yeah, back in the world's top 20 after 5 years. She has won 2 titles. Just casually also won the doubles title at Wimbledon and the WTA finals. Just,
as you do.
Just as a side job.
Just as the sprinkles on the icing on the cake.
No, she's had, you mentioned, the frame change for Elise Mertens has changed records, and ever since then has seemed to found something else in her performance. And both her matches against Victoria Mboku, top 20 player, and Barbora Krejcikova, a 2-time major champion, were so impressive in terms of mental strength and tactics, game plan. Just used her high tennis IQ to win those matches, and it was a pleasure to watch.
Stan, it's Sam Smith and Andrea Petkovic up in the commentary box.
Morning.
Hello, good morning. Great to talk to you. You've all the Swiss players seem to have just big smiles on their faces over in Perth and here. What have you personally enjoyed about this United Cup?
Well, I think the fact that we're in a team, we have a good energy in the team. We know each other quite well. We have good fun off the court, and of course, winning help always. So we've been enjoying so far the week. It's been amazing in Perth for the full week. Belinda was amazing, and we're looking forward for today.
And Stan, this is Andrea. One of my favorite moments at United Cup was when Belinda was getting a little bit frustrated in that second set against Jasmine Paolini. And boom, Stan Wawrinka shows up in the corner and coaches her, keeps her calm. How was your experience having that kind of impact as a playing captain on other players, on Belinda? What was that like for you?
I enjoyed a lot. She's an amazing person, amazing tennis player too. So it's quite easier to be on the bench. But I did enjoy. I think we talked a lot before to know a little bit what she like, what she don't like when she's playing, and I understand also the frustration. I understand the feeling on the court. So I can try to make her be a bit more relaxed, a bit smiling, get out the energy, and so far it's been going well. So we're both enjoying that.
Stan, Andrea and I are so admiring of the amazing physical condition that you're in at 40, and how much we love watching you play. We're going to miss you next season, but we're going to enjoy this one. So have a great season if we don't get to speak again.
Thank you very much. Have a good day.
Oh, it's never going to be a backhand like that on tour again, is there?
I always love when there is a disruptor in a field, you know, and you know, Stan, if he has those 2 weeks, he can just beat anybody. And that's always just so enjoyable to have.
And he's going to play very freely this year because he won't be thinking about defending points. So watch out for Stan Wawrinka. And lovely to have him in that new role as player captain. Of course, Belinda's personal coach, Ian Hughes, who is a Brit. No, he's just a bit. Actually, we're in. There's so much red. I'm getting confused which team is which.
I told you it's too much red.
But Ian Hughes there, he's in the black shorts, fellow West Ham fans, fellow sufferer of West Ham Football Club, has been working with Belinda, has really come on board. He worked with her before when she had a very serious wrist injury, coming back from surgery. And when she came back after having baby Bella, she just wanted someone that she knew and has also helped her with a comeback before. And Ian's done a very, very good job. She's 11 in the world. This time last year, she was in the 400s. So let's get the cuffs off here. It's game on. Two very experienced players. Both have been perfect so far at the United Cup.
Belinda Bencic representing Team Switzerland to serve. Play.
Andrea, neither player has overwhelming power. What do you suspect we are going to see strategically out here today?
Well, even though Bencic doesn't have that kind of Serena Williams power, let's say, she takes the ball so early and so many balls on the rise that she is rushing you, and it feels like the ball is coming at you very fast. And I do think what we will see today is Belinda is one of the most beautiful backhands down the line. Mertens can struggle on the forehand. I think her forehand is much improved since we've seen her last year. But I do think if Belinda can get her backhand down the line into the forehand of Mertens with good depth and frequently, she will be in a very good position today.
Belinda is the daughter of Slovakian parents who she was actually born in Switzerland, but actually chooses now to spend most of her time back in Bratislava, the Slovakian capital, with her partner Martin and baby Bella. how
Team Switzerland.
a very Bencic end to the game with a wonderful hand speed and coordination, and an ideal start for the Swiss number one. Laura Robson is courtside. Laura, what are you looking forward to in this match? I feel it's going to be quite a cultured contest.
Yeah, I've just been admiring Sam's T-shirt, which I think says Belinda's World. So they've come prepared, Team Switzerland. But as Andrea said, I think the backhand line from Bencic is going to play a huge part. There we go. That's a great look at it. You know, it was definitely her best shot throughout the week in Perth. The effectiveness when she hugs that baseline and takes it on the rise. And it does go into Mertens' weaker side. So yeah, that has to play a part. It's just whether the conditions are drastically different. I think the court speed is fairly similar. If anything, I'm hearing that Perth was maybe a little bit faster than Sydney, which it doesn't really help one player or the other, but it's just one more thing
Elise
for
Mertens
Bencic to get used to. But
Belgium,
yeah, I'm expecting a contest, that's for sure.
Sometimes it's easier, isn't it, to go from faster to slower than the other way around. And I don't think, with her timing, I don't think it's really too much of a problem. We shall see.
15 love.
The standout feature of Mertens' play so far at this year's United Cup has been her serving. It's been outstanding, backing up a very good 2025 in winning first serve points.
Yeah, she has continuously raised those numbers on winning points when the first serve finds the target. Very nice, simple motion. That is her preferred serve, the one down the tee on the outside and the short one out wide on the deuce. She is facing a very good returner in Belinda Bencic though, so let's see how that goes today.
Their previous meeting was 5 years ago at the Australian Open, and it was very one-sided for Elise Mertens, and I was so surprised at that. I had a look back, and I think it needs an asterisk by it because that was the year where everyone was in quarantine, and it was Belinda who had to stay in the hotel for 14 days straight. She didn't get allowed out, and then she had her first couple of rounds at the Australian Open, she played big three-setters in the heat, particularly a second round against Svetlana Kuznetsova. So I think she'd run out of gas.
And she's been doing that really nicely over the course of the last week, Elise Mertens. When she has a short ball, she doesn't overly risk too much, but then closes the net nicely. And that's just that doubles prowess. Feels so confident up there.
Game, Team Belgium. One game on.
Both women safely aboard start of this first semi-final. Team Switzerland taking on Team Belgium. Wonderful to have Belinda back. She is poised to break into the world's top 10. She's about 300 points behind Ekaterina Alexandrova, which is quite a difficult name to say at 10 o'clock in the morning. And this is this has points for a 500 event. So there's quite a lot on the table, and it might happen. It might happen this week if she can get some more wins.
And Laura, how do you like that abbreviated service motion of Belinda Bencic? You've seen it in Perth a few more times than we have here.
Yeah, it's been a bit of a talking point this week, and the reasoning behind it is to take some heat off Belinda's shoulder. She felt that with some of the slower conditions, especially slower balls, it was just too much strain on that upper limb. Overall, I don't mind it. I think sometimes when people abbreviate the motion, they lose that fluidity, but I think she still has it.
Was that an off-season change, Laura?
It was, yeah.
Yeah. It's interesting that she's done that, because we remember there was a while back in the early 2000s with Justine Henin that we had a lot of abbreviated motions, and it actually seemed to cause shoulder problems.
Oh.
That's why a lot of players have gone back to the full motions.
Well, and we have the stats on her serve. They are quite good, actually, and she is working a little bit different than Mertens. She is using a lot of variety, using her body serve quite well on the deuce side to set up for the next shot, but can hit some aces as well, as we've seen here.
Led for serve.
The serve was a part of her game when she first came on the tour, which it wasn't a negative, but it didn't help her, did it, really? And the second serve was sat there a little. It's certainly improved as she's physically matured.
For Belinda, it's not the fastest serve on tour, but it is placed really well. And in general, she keeps the first serve percentage fairly high, and it just doesn't really allow someone to attack the second even. Like, I can see what Mertens is trying to do there, where she plays a really flat return, but because Bencic is so fast to anticipate, it just doesn't do the same kind of damage.
And that is a perfect example for what Laura just said. Places her serve well, gets the short one. And then it's just so difficult to free yourself from that grip of Belinda Bencic once she is inside the baseline. And she can just distribute ball after ball until you're in a real pickle over there.
And you speak from personal experience.
I do. That's why there's a little bitterness in my voice.
But you did get a win against her. Well, didn't miss a beat from Love 30, and we're on serve early parts of this opening set. Well, the good news for the players is that actually the humidity is not too high at the moment. It will certainly go up as we head through this morning and then into the afternoon. They'll be speaking German, Andrea, so I'm relying on you. Ears on, please.
I'm listening.
Start of the semi-finals day here at the United Cup. Switzerland taking on Team Belgium. Early stages of the women's singles.
They actually speak in English to each other.
Oh, yeah, they are. So Stan's German, not that good. He did grow up in the French part of Switzerland. They tend to not speak German as much as the German part of Switzerland tends to speak French.
Love.
Stop.
15 all.
Oh dear.
15, 13.
For Mertens, the issue in her career has been in singles is beating the very best players in the world. She was 1-9 against the top 10 last season, had that win over Jessica Pegula, and the year before was 0-6. And her best year on that front was 2019, had 3 top 10 wins, all coming in the same week when she won Doha. And that was when she was right on the brink of the world's top 10. She was coached by David Taylor, the Aussie coach. That soon split afterwards, but that's as close as she's been. It's been the same situation at a lot of slams where she's often made the second week.
Yeah, that is actually well done by Elise Mertens. You could see Bencic ruthlessly going into that forehand side over and over again. And Mertens able to free herself from that. And that is a part of the reason why Mertens hasn't been able to beat the best in the world. They just go at that forehand and pick at it until it breaks down.
You explained it very well, and with a sort of an emotional edge. When Bencic sort of gets you on the run and is camped inside that baseline and is just moving the ball around, there looks to be no escape, does there?
Let's second serve. Advantage.
Well,
Team
how quickly
Switzerland.
things can change. Bencic love 30 down in her last service game, now has a chance to go up the early break.
Game Team Switzerland.
And it's Switzerland who strike the very first
Team
blow.
Switzerland leads by 3-1.
And the perfect time for Laura Robson to be in the Swiss team zone. And Laura, you're with Belinda's mixed doubles partner, Jakob Paul.
I am. If he wants to sit down, I know you're getting fired up. We're a bit stressed down here because we've just seen the biggest spider maybe I've ever seen in person. But different cities, same vibes for Belinda.
No, it's definitely great to be here in Sydney, and yeah, it's amazing to watch Belinda play another great singles match.
What's been the biggest difference conditions-wise as you guys have transitioned over the last few days?
It's definitely way more humid here in Sydney and a little bit hotter, but yeah, we try to adapt as good as possible.
And tactically, is this a matchup that you know she was comfortable coming into? Is there something that you know she's been working on?
I don't really know, but she's definitely just playing her game, and she's doing great at the moment, and I hope she can keep going like this.
I mean, the tactics for her are kind of always the same no matter who she plays, but how impressed have you been with how she's been able to implement her type of tennis this week?
I've never seen her really play before in person, so to me it was really great how she's staying so close to the baseline. She's doing an amazing job at that. Her half volleys are incredible. I hope I can learn from her a little bit, but no, she's doing just a great job.
And where's your Belinda's World t-shirt? I thought the whole team might be decked out.
It's a great t-shirt, and yeah, I'm a bit jealous of Stan that I don't have one.
I'll let you get back to sporting. Good luck.
Thank you very much.
And this is also one of the lovely aspects of the United Cup, because the team can have 6 members. It's introduced us to some new players, and Jakob Paul has played a really important part, hasn't he, as Belinda's mixed doubles partner?
He really has. Yeah, Belinda is unbeaten so far, and of course in those mixed doubles it was Jakob who was by her side. And take a look at this. Belinda, when she gets the early break, has a very high conversion rate.
Beautifully done.
15-30.
Mertens has played too well. Played for the last 8 days to go away easily here.
That is beautifully done, game plan wise. Opens the court into the backhand. That's the stronger side of Mertens. And then has so much space on that forehand side of Mertens. Doesn't have to take too much risk to get into there. And the unforced error, I would call it a forced error rather than an unforced error. But it always depends on who hits the button.
Yep, another well-fought service game, and Bencic backing up the break for one first set.
Team Switzerland leads 5-4.
start of this Australian summer. So many of the players have been able to get out and about, and one spot that they would have certainly headed for was its most iconic, the Sydney Opera House, an Australian icon designed by a Dane. And when it was first opened and built, I have to say, the reviews were not strong, and it was not liked. It's taken a while, but then the Eiffel Tower was disliked by all the Parisians.
Exactly,
when it was first built.
That's how it seems to go with these iconic buildings.
And in fact, there was a very famous Parisian writer who used to go every day to the top of the Eiffel Tower to the restaurant because he said it was the only place in Paris that you couldn't see the tower from. The Bencic going very nicely here.
Time.
Ja, dat is goed. That's good. Come on. That's good. Let's go.
Thank you for the music. Love 15.
So we talked about Belinda Bencic's rally placement, and now we also have the numbers to emphasize what she has been doing game plan wise, targeting that Mertens forehand, opening the court into the backhand side and then going for the forehand. A very clear tactics that's been paying great dividends so far. 4-1, love 15. And there's another one.
We've done this before. But also what was really important, I think, to understand there, it was not about exclusively going to the forehand side. We're not going to see 80-20 or 90-10. It's about going into the backhand, which was why the split wasn't so great, and to open up that forehand side.
It's just perfectly executed. It's one thing to put it on a table, another
Love 14.
to do it. And that's such an important point you're making, Sam, because when we talk about a weaker shot with these professionals, these top 20 players, it's still a shot that's better than 99% of what people in the world have.
It's a relative weakness.
Exactly.
Isn't it?
It's a relative weakness that you have to try and exploit, but it's not a guarantee with these amazing athletes.
Oh,
Game Team Switzerland.
Mertens is being brutally dismantled out here.
Team Switzerland leads by 5
And this
games
is
to
an
1.
immaculate performance by Belinda Bencic. B to her friends. She's not B to Elise out here at the moment.
That must be great to watch that court side, Laura. Or did you fell asleep? I can't speak English. Did you fall asleep already? Perth is a tough time change.
No, I'm very much awake and thriving in this heat down courtside, making sure I'm staying hydrated today. There's a mix of concoctions on the Switzerland team bench, so
Okay.
Stan had his pre-match setup going. But it's just what I've seen all week from Bencic, though. She's just been so cool and collected, and I think she does really enjoy having all those people off to the side there to bounce off of, and especially Stan. Some of their sort of coaching timeouts, along with Ian, have been so fun to listen to. And you can just tell that she buys into it. Pretty much everything he says, she's locked in, she's focused on it. And it's just such a great addition. Always the way, though, that I've just bigged her up and then she double faulted.
Love 14.
There's a little something for Van Mertens here, who can retrieve one of the breaks. And she's a semi-finalist at Wimbledon last year. And at that stage by Iga Świątek, the eventual champion. But that was for her only her second Grand Slam semi-final. I think that surprised many of us. As has this break. It's completely against the run of play. And Team Belgium hanging on in this opening set.
Team Switzerland leads by 5 games to 2.
Did you have a fluid regime, Andrea? Did you have a
fluid regime?
Or a fluid
I have a fluid regime now, Sam.
Okay.
But it has nothing to do with hydration. No, so actually I did...
did you do the testing?
I
with
did
the sweat
one time
testing
the Tom Brady method. Have you ever heard about that? He drinks outrageous amounts of water.
I've heard about that.
And I tried it one time during a tournament, and I was handicapped by having go to the toilet all the time, because it's double the thing that you already would drink as an athlete, which is already, I would say, double what a normal person would drink. So it was insane.
Belgium having to play catch up in this opening set. The mercury will be rising as we head through the morning and into the afternoon.
Time.
Hou die losheid bovenlichaam, los bovenlichaam, explosief uit de benen in de baan. Kies je spot, kies je target.
Well, Christopher Hyman, the Belgian coach, was really in Mertens' ear. Did you catch any of that?
I think so. We haven't seen that from him until now. He was usually very calm, collected. From my German-English knowledge, I would say that he says stay loose in the upper body, but stay explosive on the legs, especially on that serve.
That's nice done. Laura, I think you've spotted something. I heard your mic open.
It just made me laugh so much. That was some anger behind that forehand, but he's clearly said something on the serve on the changeover, because then she missed the first one and gave him the biggest death stare. And it's always the coach's fault. So whatever advice he gave, she wasn't a fan of it.
Well, and that is the one good thing with having 2 tight 3-setters in Mertens' case. You build some resilience to scoreboard, and you don't get too flustered if you're down. If you lose a set, you just continue trucking on. And she's been doing that well here.
Yes, came through. 6-3 in the decider against the young Canadian Victoria Mboko, and then a set down to Barbora Krejcikova before coming through 7-5 in the decider. She is battle hardened already at the start of the season. Her best game so far.
Team Switzerland leads by 5 games to 3.
She served before thinking about the next shot.
Yeah.
And actually, go for it. Go back to the first one. Come on.
Second time trying to serve out this opening set.
That's just a confusing return to me, because the match is getting a little tighter in the scoreline. Bencic is trying to serve it out again. First point of the game, and you've just given away a free shot there. All of a sudden, if it's love 15, then it has a totally different feel.
Oh dear.
A little bit of nerves now on the court, and I do think that what Laura just mentioned, Mertens feels rushed by Bencic's game and the way she takes the ball so early, so she's trying to hit herself out of trouble, and that worked for their previous game.
She very quickly to a double break lead before dropping her serve. But, is looking to make amends here in what has been a dominating set for the Swiss number 1. Team Switzerland off to a fast start. Bencic taking the opening set by 6 games to 3. Ideal opener for Belinda Bencic. Maybe just stopped in her tracks a little by not closing out when she had the chance to do 2 serving at 5-1, but overall I think Team Switzerland pretty happy with those numbers.
Yeah, I think so. 4 winners to 8 unforced errors, that's a pretty good number, and she's won a lot of first serve points, percentages, 2 aces. All in all, a very good performance here in set 1. Got a little dicey there at the end, but particularly in the beginning, I cannot stress enough, having played Belinda a few times, how rushed you feel on the other side. She's not hitting the ball big, but because she takes it so early, you constantly feel like you have to make decisions in split seconds, and that will make you miss. And we've seen it. A beautiful game plan with opening over the backhand into the forehand side here, and just relentless on those shorter balls from Belinda Bencic.
And this is how she wrapped it up. A 40-minute opening set. There'll be a little time delay as Elise Mertens has headed off for a bathroom break. And Andrea, I guess that gives us time to really underline how well she has done. She gave birth to baby Bella in April 2024. She came back here at the United Cup 12 months ago with her ranking in the 400s. Now she's poised to break into the world's top 10. And it feels as if having a child and then resuming your tennis career has been normalized on the tour now, because they brought in 2019 special rules to allow you to get back, and I would suggest that these rules are working.
Yeah, they are absolutely working. I remember we had a stat, I think it might have been at the last year's Australian Open, where 10 years ago there was 1 mom in the main draw, and last year there were 7 or 8 in the main draw. So clearly the changed rules of being able to use your protected ranking if you do fall pregnant, and having some time to come back on tour, get your body in place before you can expose it again to the rigors of the tour, has allowed many moms to have a family plan and a tennis career, and that's been so important. And Belinda is a great example. We have Elina Svitolina, who came back so fast. I think only 4 months later, after she gave birth, she already made the semis in Wimbledon. I know Laura has interviewed Elina last year at the Australian Open about it. So it's really changed how women plan their families and the tennis career compared to 10, 20 years ago.
10 years ago, actually, I remember Victoria Azarenka, who had her son Leo, and she didn't come back with a protected ranking. And as she said, it's giving birth is not an injury. I think you could protect it a little, but and she came back and she was unseeded for a lot of tournaments. When Serena Williams came back in 2018, she was #1 in the world when she stopped for maternity leave, and she came back into the draw unseeded. And I think Azarenka was very vocal, but when that situation happened with Serena, that's when the rules started to, that's when the rules changed from that moment onward, and they had to.
Second set, Team Belgium to serve.
I think that's a play that we should see more of from Mertens in this second set, when she has the chance on the forehand, because she knows she's most likely going to get it to that side early on in the rally. Just open up the line. Just redirect that straight away and get out of the rally you don't want to be in. And it is such a flat shot that even if Bencic is anticipating well, it's going to be tough to pick up.
Yes, it has a natural fade about it. And really, she's played too well here in Sydney so far this week to go away easily here. And
Team Belgium.
very clean start to the second set.
Very impressive first game here, and Elise has bounced back quickly in the last two matches that went 3 sets whenever she did go down. So has that resilience. And Laura, does it look like she's trying to hit the ball a little bit bigger than at the very beginning of the match?
Yeah, definitely for the last few games. It's felt like she's ripping it a bit more. I mean, why not? You want to get Bencic out of position, which is so hard to do. And Mertens doesn't really have the game to change the height over the net. You know, her shots are so naturally flat that you wouldn't say to her, throw in a high ball and get her off the court that way. So this is probably the next best thing. Just to rip it.
Rip it.
Is that also Aussie for have a crack?
Have a crack, yeah. How many?
I tell you, the sophistication of your analysis, Laura, it's just mind-bending.
Just rip it.
So lucky to have you there.
I mean, I hate to say it, but she's had a crack there. And I don't know if you've seen the same thing up close this week, Andrea, but I'm just getting the sense here that Mertens is so determined, and sometimes in singles especially, she can get really frustrated with herself, really negative, and you see the impact that it has on the next few points. I'm just not feeling that, and even when she was 5-1 down, it just felt like she was ready to get to work.
Yeah, absolutely. She has shown great mental strength, and we saw her closing her eyes frequently in the change events, meditating. They definitely have worked on that aspect of her game, and now there's a little bit of an opening for her.
Things have certainly changed here, and great investment back into that first set from Mertens to not let it go away easily, and might get the reward here. It's already broken Bencic to love earlier in the match. Can she do so once again? Yes, she can. And it's all change here on the Ken Rosewell Arena. And that is 8 points in a row right at the start of this second set.
Well, she definitely took that great analysis from Laura Robson to heart and just ripped it. And it worked really well.
Oh, classic Bencic.
Sometimes we make tennis so overcomplicated, and for Mertens it just seems like she's got one thing that she wants to do in her head. That's all she's going to focus on. And for Bencic it's probably quite similar. They're just trying to open up the line.
You can see here why it's so important for Mertens to keep, whether it's pace or depth, but to keep one or the other in a really good shape against Bencic. The moment you drop anything short, you are in all sorts of trouble on the other side. That's why it worked so well for Mertens in these first two games, just going for a bit more.
She's missed it wide. I also feel like there's been too many shots to Bencic's backhand in this game. All of a sudden. 3-4 in a row.
Clear head. Swing it.
Oh, line to line. Brilliant from Bencic. And now a chance to get the immediate break back here. And the Swiss doesn't miss a beat. And after a couple of breaks early on in the second set, we're back on serve.
Because I think we have a serve and I'm not thinking to ice the
Because at the end, it's just people being quiet. It doesn't matter. Like, if you serve or if you serve, you can be straight after.
Team captain Sam Wawrinka. Very much an influence in the Bencic matches. 3 from 3, Belinda in Perth, including the big win over Yasmin Paolini. Bencic in her third appearance here at the United Cup. Switzerland in the semi-finals for the first time.
Love it in.
Belinda struggling to win the first point on her service games, has only done so on 2 occasions in this match. It's her 7th service game in total.
Love 13.
On the changeover, I picked up a little bit of chat between Stan and Belinda, and they were talking about the serve, and she was talking about the first move after the serve as well, that she's just feeling super rushed at the moment.
Well, and Mertens has been doing quite a good job in the last 3-4 service games of Bencic to neutralize that body serve a bit better, whereas in the very beginning of the match, those returns landed quite short and Bencic was all over them. Now she has found a bit more depth on them.
Mertens is getting to look at an awful lot of second serves, which has only won 6 points in that second delivery in the contest. Eyeing up another break right here. Has she made that? She has. And it's another break.
Team Belgium leads by 3 games to 1.
Very un-Mertens kind of shot, isn't it?
Yeah, she is ripping it. And take a look. Laura mentioned earlier that one way for Mertens to free herself from her forehand being picked on is to go down the line in the early in the rally, and she has done so. 71% of Mertens' forehand go down the line. That's how she gets the rally back on her backhand side. But in this last game, she didn't need anything back on her backhand side. It was just crushing those returns. There it is. Very flat. You can see how she goes straight through the ball. It creates that flat bounce on the other side.
$15.
And that height, was that a bit of topspin on Belinda Bencic's forehand, Laura? Yeah.
You read my mind. There was a bit of shape.
Yes.
Much higher over the net.
And that's what creates difficulties for Mertens' way of hitting that forehand. That's why you see.
Because it comes across her body, the forehand, it's very hard to then come down over the top of it and still finish where she usually does.
Mertens once again in trouble.
15-14.
So often when pushed wide, that forehand just opens up the face and stretches to it rather than getting behind the shot. Bencic has opened that up a few times and eyeing up a 4th consecutive service break here in the second set. Well, it is another break, and we're back on serve in the second.
Team Belgium leads by 3 games to 2.
Laura, Andrea, you've been talking about the Bencic serve, and we've actually, well, there's been a lot of work done behind the scenes to compare the difference between on the left of your screen last year, this time last year, and then this year on the right of your screen with the abbreviated motion. And Andrea, talk us through how different it is.
It is very different, and I love that we have that. I would have never dared to ask, but of course the people behind the scenes are working very hard. And you can see right there that lift up on the shoulder on your left-hand side is that more fluid looking motion, but you can see how she can get a bit more load on that shoulder that she was talking about, and she avoids that with the motion on the right side where she just avoids that movement. In total, gets right up.
Here's another look at Belinda Bencic abbreviated serve. It's unveiled for the season.
Yeah, I was chatting to her coach Ian in Perth, and they were trialling it out from that Beijing.
Let's have a look at it. So left-hand side is 2025 version, 2026 on the right. We'll have another.
Pay attention to the left one. This is the moment where she puts a little load on the shoulder if she is tense, which we see with Bencic, and she avoids that type of movement. on the right side with the abbreviated motion. And Laura can attest to it. Maybe she can tell us what Ian told her.
Yeah, so they were working on it from about Beijing, but he said more adjustments were made in the off-season to shorten it even more and to try and gain that sort of momentum up into the trophy position back, because that's something that you lose if you shorten the swing too much and then it gets a bit jerky. Another very technical term. I'm really killing it today. But the last two service games from Bencic, I'm just feeling like the ball toss is dropping slightly because she's already moving back, expecting a big return. And if she can just finish the motion a bit more, worry less about where to hit it, because I feel like she's overthinking the placement because the body serve has been taken out of contention slightly.
Too low.
Very nice. Third ace. And whatever happening with Bencic in the course of a match, I mean, she does have this extraordinary hand-eye coordination that she can always fall back on to take the ball so early. And I think kudos to Dad, Ivan, who had her working for an hour a day as a 4-year-old on coordination drills in the garden. And Bencic stabilises and holds for the first time in this second set.
Her dad's here, actually. He's been chief babysitter this week. He's just sitting above the Team Switzerland bench at the moment.
Former ice hockey player, Ivan, and definitely CEO of Belinda's career, right from those early days, throwing balls to her in the garden. Those coordination exercises. He went to see Melanie Molitor, Martina Hingis' mother, when she was 4. So, how does Mertens respond? She's been perfect so far at this United Cup, 3 from 3. It's come out, we feel, this season at a higher level, had a great pre-season, particularly in the physical training department.
Yeah, I really wonder how she will take this, because the one difference, and here we have Belinda stand. I want to hear from Laura whether he's already applying those coordination drills with baby Bella.
Of course, he probably is.
As a chief babysitter.
She's been spotted in the warm-up area a few times. Yeah.
Is Martin here?
He is, yeah.
Okay.
So he's looking after her right now, but he likes to come out and watch Stan when he's on.
Well, and to get back to Mertens, the one difference to the other previous 3 matches that she's played, she could always rely on her serve. Today she's been broken multiple times by Belinda Bencic, and I wonder what that will do to her mentally, whether she can still show the same resilience that she showed in her previous games.
Beautifully swept away, and that is only the 6th point that she has won behind her second serve in this contest.
And that's where the down the line forehand, even though it wasn't that deep, it was just so effective of changing the play of the point, because Bencic, off the first forehand, Mertens had hit the slice, probably should have gone back one more time there.
Game. Team Belgium.
Good close out to the game.
Please.
And some order restored here in the
New
second
balls.
set. We're on serve.
Team Belgium leads 5-4 games to 3.
Ze is sterker in uw kop dan haar, sowieso.
Nog eens afgegeven. Hetzelfde.
Als dan hier.
Everyone needs a spritzer. What to do with the garden hose as well out here. It's going to get hotter and hotter. On the hottest of days here at the Ken Rosewell Arena, Sydney Olympic Park will be absolutely sweltering as we head into the afternoon. And you can see there's not too much activity on the outside court.
Not at all.
It's warm, guys.
I have to say, Laura, where's your fan?
So far, I'm holding out because there was quite a nice breeze coming through the stadium during that first set. But the biggest difference now that breeze is starting to drop is it just feels quite lethargic. It's this heavy, hot, humid. It feels like a hairdryer basically coming into the court here. So not easy for the players, and we're expecting it to get hotter. The good news is I shared a car with the WTA supervisor on my way in today, and she says under the roof it was about 4 degrees cooler than outside yesterday. So they've got that up their sleeve if it does get up to 40 something on those outside courts.
New balls.
Belinda Bencic regained control of this second set, really dominated the first. Broken twice already in the second.
Third tee love.
Got the impression Mertens not completely happy with her string tension. She sent one racket back to the stringers at the last change of ends. And Andrea, that's also an issue when the atmospheric conditions changes. It also affects your strings, doesn't it?
Yeah, and the tricky part about that is, yes, you can adjust it in the warm-ups, in the training sessions, but when the tension of a match raises in your muscles, that's when you actually know what kind of tension you need on the strings as well.
Oh,
wow.
Game, Team Switzerland.
special. And An emphatic service hold from Bencic.
And there we have a nice study of that backhand, a little bit unorthodox with the left foot in front. That's the Melanie Molitor way. You've mentioned it before, Martina Hingis' mom.
Yeah, she sort of walks through the shot, doesn't she? That left leg in front of the hip.
But when you have the timing that Bencic has, you can pull it off very nicely. Boy, she's striking the backhand really, really well in these last 4 or 5 points. I wonder whether Mertens should try and stay away for the next few minutes. Laura, what do you think? Yeah.
Because Bencic just looks so much calmer than she did three games ago.
She lose that point? You have to be kidding me. 15-0. It was harder to lose it than win that point.
Well, that's the moment right there. Indecisive whether to take it out of the air or let it drop.
Wow. Let off for Mertens. Oh, that was huge. That may be a huge moment in the context of this second set. That would have been love 30. Mertens starting to unravel. And this is a woman, she's 30 years of age, she's been out on tour a long time. Top player. You have to beat her. You can't give her anything. She will latch on to that moment. Yeah.
40-15.
Starting to find a few free points now behind that first serve. It turned into a straightforward service game, and Mertens pushes ahead once more in this second set.
And isn't our sport so funny how Bencic seemed to be having the momentum on her side, and that one little point changed everything.
The irony is that Bencic is one of the most instinctive players of all the players to get caught in that situation. For her, yeah, that was a little coordination drill that she did when she was 4 years of age in the garden. It was, you know, she is able to improvise, but Mertens dogged as ever.
Stan has gone off to prepare himself.
Yep. But all the teams are very happy to have the personal coaches on board, and it's a great way for them to get some work done at the start of the season. This is the first semi-final of the United Cup weekend. It's Team Belgium taking on Team Switzerland, the women's singles first up. Then it'll be the turn of the men, and then we could go down to a deciding mixed doubles. The defending champions, the United States, will take on Team Poland in the night session.
Love 15.
The double fault started to creep in at the back end of the first set, but on that occasion she was in full control. But here serving to stay in the second.
Out. 15 all. Out. 30-15. Stop. Stop. 30 all.
And just sometimes slows that wrist acceleration down, Belinda Bencic, on second serve. That's when you see the ball not having enough rotation to drop. Oh, that was so good. It's such a big moment.
40-30.
So brave. Gets even Magnus Norman on his feet.
You know, she has been hitting those drive volleys since she was sort of in the under-10s in the juniors. When other juniors were letting it bounce and playing another ground stroke, she was already transitioning and getting her feet over that service line and taking the ball in the air. It's completely instinctive now and automatic.
News. Advantage, Team Switzerland.
Yep, still work to do in this game. Early on in her career, and she was out there on tour in tournaments at 16, 17 years of age. The emotional control wasn't quite there, was it? But now, as a I mean, it's still the fires there, but now as a mum and family life, it's given her a very different perspective on the sport.
Time violation, warning, Team Switzerland.
Yeah, you can only have 25 seconds then. In Bly, enforcing the rules.
Advantage, Team Switzerland.
If she gets another one, she will lose a first serve.
Next one.
Yeah, there's just a lot of tension down there. You can just feel that the match is on the knife's edge here. That's why we see a few more unforced errors than we have seen throughout this contest.
Advantage, Team Belgium.
Well, didn't start the set too well, got broken in an opening couple of service games, and now paying the price here, potentially. It's Mertens with an opportunity to level the contest. The Belgian with her first set point. Team Belgium are back in business as Elise Mertens takes the second set by 6 games to 4.
Second set. Team Belgium. 6 games to 4, 1 set off.
And what a clever way for Elise Mertens to play that set point. Full brain power engaged then. It just shows you how she can, you know, change up her game and use what she has to get a fantastic result.
Oh, that was a mesmerizing point. How she hit that forehand with a bit of shape, got the short one, and then finished everything at the net was really marvelous. And here we have the numbers. Not a lot has changed. However, 1 point in particular, the first serve points won on Belinda Bencic's side have dropped significantly, and a few fewer unforced errors on Elise Mertens' side. This was a very tight contest in the second set, but Elise Mertens just a bit more steady in those crucial moments that decide tennis matches and tennis sets. All to play for here in this tie between Team Belgium and Team Switzerland.
And these some of the best moments, and Mertens certainly stepping up in the second. Well, that point that you just saw there was at 4-all, and Mertens was at love 15, and it really should have been love 30. And you said at the time, Andrea, it has almost changed the outcome of this second set and potentially the match. 1 point.
I really think so. It's tough to obviously to see the whole picture in retrospect, but it did feel like in that moment everything changed because Belinda Bencic was in full control. She was playing so well. The momentum was on her side. That split second of not a decisive decision, and everything turned.
Yeah, she just held to love as well. She had 5 points in a row, and she looked as if she was racing through. this second point. But you've been having a look at something that's really been also very important out here.
Yes, it has, and it's really, really interesting to look at, because from Elise Mertens, what we have seen throughout this United Cup is a very spread out first serve placement. She is really going for all the corners. Take a look here. Almost every single serve goes down the tee. On the Ed side, even more than on the Do side, but both sides she goes down the tee. And I do think this is because she's trying to take the angles away from Bencic. We have talked about her wondrous technique that is a little bit unorthodox, with how she steps in, takes the ball early, cuts off angles. And that is what Mertens is trying to avoid. That's why she's going down the tee more frequently, hoping that Bencic goes through the center of the court and Mertens can build a point from there. And a lot of frustration from Bencic. And I do think, Sam, what you just mentioned, due to that 1 point, because she knows that the match was in her hands if she had just made a little bit of a better decision in that moment.
Bencic's just away from the match at the moment in the bathroom. But Elise Mertens is an interesting character because she is very interested in numbers and data. And she doesn't depend on, she's never depended on her coaches. So she always, before she plays a match, she will look at the data herself and come up with a plan, and also ask her coach to do the same, and then they join forces, which I think is a really interesting way of doing it. But she has a lot of agency in how she's going to play her tennis matches.
Well, you can really tell. You can tell that she has a high tennis IQ. She played different against Victoria Mboko.
Yeah.
Yet again, different against Barbora Krejcikova. And she plays different again today.
Yeah.
And that is what she makes up for maybe the lack of power. If you think of a Rybakina or a Sabalenka.
Yep.
She comes up with the wits.
Yeah, and you illustrate that perfectly by how she's changed up her serving today from Krejcikova a couple of days ago. Yeah, she is a wily campaigner.
And Laura, what do you think is going on in the bathroom right now with Belinda Bencic?
That's an impossible question.
She was very frustrated when she left the court. And I think, feels like the racket was very much on her. Well, the match was on her racket with that one particular point, but also there was the other point where she was also indecisive. Took it as a bit of a half volley when she could have taken it out the air. And it's just that second guessing that seeps into the rest of your game. So still kind of struggling on the serve, the second serve in particular. I agree with you, she could accelerate more into it. But Mertens has just looked so cool, calm and collected. No matter what the scoreline, she's jumping around. She was told by the WTA supervisor that it might be an extra minute because the bathroom was around the other side of the stadium. Sounds like Belinda's on her way back. WTA supervisor just walked past me, so everyone's in good form. It is very warm down here now. It feels like a sauna.
Laura, if you want to get a fan at where the doors are opening on the second level, they give out fans there, and you just have to choose whether you want a Swiss or a Belgian one, or maybe get both. So
yeah,
you're not
so you're biased.
Well, so that you are impartial. But that's why the whole stadium has fans.
It stands back.
Well, Laura, you have at least one fan up here in the booth, and that's Sam.
I just heard Miriam Blythe giving Belinda Bencic a warning for unsportsmanlike conduct.
The racket could have smashed.
Yeah.
It certainly hit the ground at a nice speed.
Final set. Team Belgium to serve.
You got it, Maddie. Again, come on.
So start of this deciding set, Mertens opening up again as she did the second, where she held to love, and that really was a really good platform for her. But I think still got to think about the investment she made at 5-1 down in that opening set. Won that couple of games, broke back, and got herself into the match when she really was being outplayed. And now we have a very different contest. I've been on court a little over an hour and a half.
Go, Belly. Come on, let's go.
For Taylor.
And she does it again, a hold to love right at the start of this third set.
Final set.
A fantastic start into the third set. Here's the score worm. I know, Sam, you love the score worm.
Well, I need some help with the score worm. You explain it all.
I also need some help with the score. You know who loves the score worm?
Casey Delacroix. Where's Casey? Are you good with the score worm, Laura? I know it's important.
I've seen the score worm this week.
I know
we
it's
didn't
important.
have the score worm in Perth.
No, we didn't let you have it in Perth.
Well, you can see the difference worming around there.
You can, yes.
I feel like having just experienced that for the first time, it might just be easier to put 29 points versus 24. That's just me, I don't know.
I think it's meant to show the flow of games. We need Casey. Casey's really good on the score worm.
And Laura, Stan is back. There he is with his Belinda shirt. Do you think he has the ability to calm Belinda down again?
Yeah.
You've watched them in Perth.
I would say that one love changeover, it was more like a full changeover with the amount of time that they took. And Miriam didn't rush them. Obviously, everyone recognises that it's warm, but I think she just needed that reset because you didn't get the sense that in the first 2 points of the third set that she'd really calmed down.
Oh, it's brilliant from Mertens, coming off the angle. Yes, Stan is the BB whisperer.
Yeah, when there is such a big legend of the game in your box and he's telling you something, you just can't let your nerves or frustrations take control of you.
He said to me in Perth that one of the most valuable aspects that he brings is that he recognises these kind of situations. And he's been there, he's done that, he knows what it feels like.
And now that was a much better body serve. She put a bit more pace on it, 162 k's an hour. I do feel like in the second set, that body serve has lost its bite. Mertens got used to it, found depth on the returns, and that has really changed the match ever since. Whereas in the first set, those body serves were really setting Belinda up for her +1 shot.
It just feels like a really interesting part of the match tactically, though, because we've seen Mertens go more forehand down the line with shape, trying to change the pace up so that Bencic can't take the next ball early. I almost feel like Bencic needs to open up her backhand line first, and she's been looking almost a bit predictable going backhand cross, and then we just see how fast Mertens cuts that next one off.
Game Team Switzerland.
And breaks the run of 3 games against her. It just seemed very much in that second set that it was Mertens dictating for a lot of it, rather than Belinda. Let's see if she can change that dynamic. And you've just shown me an absolutely frightening number on your phone about the temperature here at Sydney Olympic Park. 37 degrees. And this is where you better have done your pre-season training.
Love 15.
Yes. Now all the substance comes into play. And whoever drops anything short in this match between the two gets punished right away.
I'm with you though, Sam. It felt like the majority of that set was on Mertens' racket. Either she hit a clean shot or it was an unforced error, but I think that's partly why Bencic was getting so frustrated, because it was out of her control.
This has become, and we always hoped it might be, a fascinating contest because it's not about pure power. There's the opening here for Belinda. I broke Mertens twice in the opening set, but only on the one occasion in the second. Yeah, got away with that.
30.
I worry about that shot.
The forehand slice?
Yeah.
Or which one?
The
Yes.
defensive forehand slice.
It's very low. And she sort of smashes it. It's not a... Yes, it is a defensive shot, but she plays it so quickly.
I think it has pluses and minuses. I worry that she stretches to it rather than gets behind the ball. Oh, it's sensational. And we've seen things can change very quickly in this matchup. Second meeting between these two. And from the first time since midway through the second set, Belinda has a chance to break the Mertens serve. And momentum swings Team Switzerland's way. Bencic up the early break in the decider.
Team Switzerland leads by 2 against 4.
Well, as the Mercury It's hot, hot, hot out here at Sydney's Olympic Park. And I always remember once interviewing Serena Williams after a blistering day at the AO after her match.
Time.
And I asked her, you know, what's your best advice for playing in the heat? And she said, hit a bunch of aces and get the hell out of there.
Well, that was an option for her, not so much for somebody like me with my serve, but I'm glad she had a game plan for the heat.
Lufkin.
There's your extra pop on the body serve.
Yeah, I think that's really helped her here in the third set. If we compare it to the second for Belinda.
Would it be fair to say she just seems a little more decisive now in the decider?
Yeah, I still hold my breath. Oh, very close. That's why you hear the audience reacting. I still hold my breath when she comes forward, because a few times at the net she has made strange decisions, not on the drive volleys, but on the regular volleys. But generally speaking, she seems to be a woman on a mission again. Reminiscent of that first set where she came out just crushing the ball. And Laura mentioned it before, this is an Elise Mertens in the season 2026 that we haven't seen as fierce, as mentally strong, as resilient. She just does not go away no matter what the scoreline is.
Oh, back edge, it's shot.
40.
Paint stiff on the lines, and it's there. These are very thick lines as well. It just moves a little quicker off them because there isn't the sand to cause the friction between the line and the ball. She's found it again.
That's just a slight indecision for me, though, from Bencic with that second backhand. I feel like she just needs to go so early on down the line, because Mertens is doing so well at just soaking that pace up.
Led first serve. Advantage, Team Switzerland.
It's also pretty handy to have Magnus Norman sitting on the back row as well. Then he stayed out of it, but former world #2 coach of Stan Wawrinka, coached Stan to his Grand Slam triumphs. He's a very retiring and low-profile kind of Swede. Oh, she made that look easy. And she's the first to break clear in this final set.
Team Switzerland leads by 3-1.
Actually, all Swedes are pretty low-key, aren't they?
Yeah,
But,
the ones I know at least. This was a nice game from Belinda Bencic to back up that break of serve. But I do agree with Laura that in the first set, Belinda was a bit more decisive on her down the lines. Just remember how she pressured Mertens into her forehand there. But she has a 3-1 lead now, so she can play a bit more freely. And this is a great example for what Laura just mentioned. This is a great return by Belinda Bencic, but it goes into the backhand side of Mertens. She just goes low, Elise, takes the pace from Belinda and sends the ball back just as fast, maybe even faster, and you're on the run.
Fifteen. 15-13.
Oh, yeah. Bencic switching up the play, and Mertens, who was broken in the last service game, in real trouble here.
Foul.
Oh, well played. And those 2 break points quickly snuffed out.
That was very well played, this one right there, but the backhand before was the chance for Belinda Bencic to pull the trigger down the line. She played it safe and got counter-punched by Mertens with her own backhand.
Advantage, Team Belgium. Game.
A vital hold from 15-40.
Team Belgium.
And Mertens staying in touch in this final set.
Team Switzerland leads by 3 games to 2.
First women's singles in this opening semi-final here at the Ken Rosewall Arena, and in the team zones, both captains working very, very hard. And for Stan Wawrinka, who went to prepare for his men's singles coming up next, he's a playing captain. He went behind the scenes midway through the second, and he's found himself having to be back here for the third. That's a little wayward. That'll be fascinating to see how Bencic responds here after squandering those last couple of break points in the previous game.
I feel like she should have let that one drop.
Well, you're in a perfect position to make that call, or you're actually right in line. It was in the air for a very long time, wasn't it?
Love 30.
Mertens powering up here.
Love 40.
And how quickly things can change. Only a few moments ago, and it was 3-1. And they had a couple of chances for the double break. And we're very close now to being back on serve here in this final set.
Out. 15-40.
Nicely saved.
30-40.
But still break point in this game.
And the third one always seems the most daunting one psychologically, because, you know, there's just that one more point that could get you back to even. What will Belinda do here?
Yeah, a really loose game from the Swiss.
Team Belgium. Ball change, please.
And we're back level in the
New
decider.
balls. 3 games on.
And again, a very nice job by Elise Mertens and how she remained calm, continued to fight. You mentioned it, Sam. She was almost down 4-1, 3-1, 15-40 to the goods of Bencic.
So, Laura, Andrea, where do we go from here? We're 2 hours in. 1 set all, 3 games all.
40 degrees. Laura, go.
It's a tough day to stay cool, calm and collected, I will say that. Yeah, I mean, so much is contingent on whether Bencic can find the line ball early on in the rally, because Mertens has barely missed a backhand. She's feeling so loose on that shot.
Yeah, Bencic taking full advantage of the new balls.
Love 15.
He's going to be there right until the last ball, isn't he?
I'm worried about his energy levels.
Forget the singles.
When I went over there before, he had a plate of plain rice that he was trying to get away, but he's still been sat in the heat for the majority of the last 2 hours.
15 all.
Really impressed with Mertens some of these first serve speeds. Yes, she missed that first serve, but she was up at 187 Ks. That is about 117 miles an hour in old money, which is a speed I understand, or a metric I understand. But that's big for Mertens.
Very big. Now there it is. There is that backhand down the line that she played so well in the first set, Belinda Bencic, and has just shied away from it. And I wonder if that's what he's trying to tell her. No. She preferred the cross court in the second and third set, and that's why she's had more trouble winning points against Mertens, who has been absolutely excellent on that backhand side herself.
Yeah. Really well played.
40-30.
She's actually asking for Martin to come down. Martin being her fiance and fitness trainer.
And Mertens with the hustle, and it's
Belgium.
advantage Team Belgium.
Team Belgium leads by 4 games to 3.
Very surprised that she hasn't got ice around her neck, or yeah, I think that's a good idea. I'm just wondering if the heat is starting to get to Belinda. Punishing conditions here at Sydney's Olympic Park on the pretty much the hottest day of the year, and certainly the warmest one of this United Cup. And it is advantage Team Belgium. Back on serve now in this final set.
Well, a lot of frustration from Belinda Bencic. Stan Wawrinka doing his best to calm her down, and I think it's a combination of what you just mentioned, Sam. The heat will always make you a bit more shaky in terms of mental strength, and then Mertens has stolen so many points where Belinda Bencic looked like the certain winner of that point, just counter-punching, not going away. I've been so impressed with Elise, how she has handled herself throughout this match. Getting that extra shot back into play.
Two very different emotional standpoints that we're looking at. I mean, Mertens was so cool, calm and collected. Bencic didn't even want the ice towel. It's just, it's a lot.
And again, that is so well played, and that forehand with a bit of shape into the Bencic backhand is the reason why Bencic hasn't been as confident on pulling that trigger down the line off that side as she has been in the first set.
(15-13).
Unraveling a little here. Mertens can take full advantage. She really has been good throughout the group stage and the quarterfinals of the United Cup. There's just a different level about Mertens this year. Can she make it count right here? Bencic just saved a little under half of the break points that she's faced out here this morning. And what a time to find her best serve.
Dios.
And I'm really liking what Team Switzerland is doing out here. They know their player is having a rough time, and they are all on their feet trying to give emotional support to Bencic.
Yeah, that's Martin who's joined the fray. Hasn't lost a point since he arrived. That's a good sign.
Interesting, at 28, she knows what she needs, doesn't she? I hope somebody's looking after baby Bella and she's just not.
Yeah, her dad went.
Oh, great. Okay, I'm just.
They've done a swap.
I just felt that I needed to make sure that was covered. Well,
Game Team
two
Switzerland.
first serves from 15-40 and she finds a hold.
4 games on.
That's a monster hold, and Mertens hasn't really done anything wrong there.
And now Stan has asked Martin to come into the box.
And Martin was a former pro soccer player. Again, has started working with Belinda many years ago as a fitness trainer. An ever supportive presence, I have to say. So often is on babysitting duties during her matches. So we're locked 4-all.
Love.
This match has had so many ups and downs already. Whenever you think, oh, this player has this in the bag now, something changes, something turns, and we're back at square one.
30 love.
Almost a third of Mertens' serves have been unreturned today. That's how well, when she's been in those good serving patches, that she's delivered against a top returner in Belinda Bencic.
Love.
Stop.
40-15.
The first double of this final set. Oh.
40-30.
I think there was some rage wrapped up in that backhand shot. What a swing. Bam.
Oh, it's brutal. What a hold from Mertens. And she's ahead once more in this final set.
By 5 games to 4.
Nemá žalej, nemá žalej,
Both captains hard at work in the team zones. Perfectly played.
Gosh, it takes some grit to still be going for drive volleys after missing a few and the indecisiveness that we've seen. Both of them are just knuckling down in the toughest of conditions.
Yes, you do have to admire them. One break apiece in this final set. Bencic doing so well to hold from 15-40 in her last service game. Could do with an easy ride here.
Mertens wants a bit more energy from her team. They get up right away.
Not a bad time to hold to love.
5 games on.
Mertens wants a different racket, I think. Maybe a tighter string.
Yeah, 2 of the returns flying long. That would underline Laura's point that a tighter string would be in place.
Well, that's gone off to the stringer. I like that she thinks this match is still going to be
I was just
in
going
play
to say,
when it comes back.
Are we going to have a 3 hours for the finale?
15 left.
Well, maybe already planning for a possible mixed doubles.
Well, this first meeting at the United Cup between these two countries it's a goodie so far. It's certainly delivering.
Out. 30 left.
Well, and we can't forget that not only is it hot, it is getting hotter by the minute. So that's why now all of a sudden with the tension in the muscles, you see a few returns flying long. The temperature is rising. That makes the ball fly through the air quicker. There again.
for Taylor.
She blames herself, but I honestly think it's the temperature.
It is. When you think when we started out almost 2.5 hours ago, the temperature was 7 or 8 degrees cooler, wasn't it? And Mertens answers a love service hold with one of her own. And we're still going here in this final set.
6 games to 5.
Laura, you're always the most up-to-date on the news. So is Martin, Belinda, are they engaged but not married?
Correct.
I thought they were married, but no. Is there any signs?
I mean, as far as I know.
Okay, well, you're much more a reliable source than I am. Any plans, do you think, to get married? Have you heard anything in the wind?
To be honest.
Okay. I'm sure that's a question you could ask in a downtown time relaxed moment.
Maybe not today.
Not today. Not today. Almost 2.5 hours into this opening singles, the first match of 3, a semi-final that is really starting to deliver between Team Switzerland and Team Belgium. It will be the Americans facing off against the Poles in the night session in sweltering temperatures here at Sydney's Olympic Park. So for a second time, Bencic serving it to stay in the contest.
It's going to be really tricky for Mertens to figure out what she wants to do with this return. We've seen how much it's flying, but then if she tries to just control it and roll the ball over, then it drops short, and you know Bencic is so fast onto it.
Left serve.
And from the side of the court, it just feels like both of them are starting to take the pace off because they're so worried that it's going to fly.
Yeah. Interesting. Which is such an interesting change of pace in this match, where both players have been trying to control the baseline and get in and take the balls on the rise first.
And would it be fair to say that both these two are more exposed to the atmospheric changes because they play with much more open face? They don't play with as much spin as so many players on the tour.
Absolutely. So if you had somebody, as an extreme example, Rafael Nadal playing here, you wouldn't feel the effects as much because he puts so much rotation on the ball that it will drop on the other side in time.
30 all.
Even Iga Swiatek on her forehand side has that nice rotation. And these two players are both known to hit the ball quite flat and open-faced.
My goodness, 5-6, 30 all, new racket.
That is bravery. Only a few players in the world
40-30.
can pull that off.
What a change up from Bencic.
6 games
Yahtzee.
Tiebreak.
And actually the ball had a different sound, didn't it, off the racket, those last couple of backhands. So in we go for a 7-point tiebreak. So who was going to be the last woman standing?
Team Switzerland.
Well, she hasn't lost a point with the new racket as yet.
But the difference for me here, yes, Bencic is controlling it better with the backhand cross, but Mertens has lost the pace. That backhand there, she just rolled it over and she's hoping for an error when she's done so well for the last 2.5 hours to try and dictate the play herself.
And even though she lost that point, Mertens now was much better in terms of pace of shot. But Bencic seems to have locked in here.
It's tough for Mertens, though, to play against type, isn't it? Her whole career, she's tended to play a little safer than many of her opponents, particularly in the big moments on a singles court.
Team Switzerland.
Let's go, let's go. Come on. Come on, Elise. Come on, Elise. Let's go. Let's go.
Switzerland.
6 points in a row with the magic racket that she changed at 5-6, 30 all. In certainly a bold move.
Very bold, but it is paying off.
And it's still working. Brilliant from Bencic.
Well, and it's definitely helped her to keep hitting the ball, which is so important in these temperatures when you have the feeling that the ball is flying on you. And Laura just pointed out that Mertens has just taken a bit of pace out, trying to control to make the ball rather than hit it. And Bencic has not taken any pace off. In a very good position now.
Outcomes can be determined by the quality of your decision making under the severest pressure, and she's made two big ones midway through this final set to get her fiancé into the team zone. She felt that that's what she wanted, and then just a game or so ago switching her racket in the middle of a service game, 2 points from defeat. And if she does come through here, I think we may look to those two decisions as to why she's going to put Switzerland in charge. She's got multiple match points now. And Bencic sends Switzerland into an early lead. Took the first 6-3, lost the second 4-6, and comes through brilliantly. 7-love in a final set breaker. Winning the last 9 points with a freshly strung racket. What a story, what a roller coaster for Stan and the Swiss team. You couldn't write that one.
What a match we've just witnessed in this blistering heat from both women. Very high quality. And you mentioned it, Sam, two decisions that changed the outcome of this match. One was getting her fiancé out, and the other one, here is Ian, her coach, that she's hugging, and the other one, the more mind-boggling one, is changing her racket at 5-6, 30 all, 2 points from defeat. Taking a brand new racket and then not losing a single point anymore until the end.
Look at Stan. Stan's going to play a men's singles now, but it was all worth it. But it was worth the investment for Stan because he can play with some freedom now against Zizou Bergs. There's going to be a lot of recovery from this one. This was a brutal match to play so early on in the season. But I'll tell you what, she's been playing tennis since she was 4 years of age. She knows what she wants and she needs. And I tell you what, she backed herself all the way there. She didn't think, oh, I might need to change my racket. The ball's flying. She changed her racket. Mertens didn't. And I can't wait to hear what she has to say to Laura. Take it away, Laura.
Belinda, I don't know where you would start. That was an absolute journey for all of us, let alone for you on the court. Over 2.5 hours, punishing conditions, but you got the win. How does that feel?
Feels amazing. Feels like 170 kilo fell off my shoulders. I was so stressed. I really wanted to do well, and I don't know, today I felt so much pressure to not let my team down. And yeah, let's go now for Stan.
Just the excitement of those last couple of games in particular, but we were blown away. 5-6, 30 all. You changed the racket. You then didn't lose another point. that kind of decision making in the moment, you have to be so proud of to realize what you needed in that tough scoreline.
Yeah, I guess finally my brain just turned off and let my instincts take over. And I think it was just a feeling, and I just played with the back against my wall. I was just really focused on myself, on breathing, and I'm super happy I stayed tough in the most important moments. But the bench, they helped me so much. Stan was helping me so much on the bench as my coach and as my husband, everyone. So I really couldn't do it today without them. I really needed the push.
Yeah, you mentioned that because he came down, Martin, early on in the third, and it was like you knew what you needed in that moment. Stan was trying to put the ice towel on you. It was a real team effort today.
Yeah, it definitely was. I at times felt so overwhelmed because you feel like your bench is supporting you so much. I felt so responsible. But Martin, he knows exactly what I need, and we just have this connection, and I think that brought me over the line in the end.
What a win. Congratulations. I'm sure the crowd wants to give you another round of applause for that incredible effort out here.
Thanks so much. Thanks. Sorry, just want to thank the crowd. Thanks so much. It's been amazing in Perth, but also now to play in Sydney. It's kind of weird to play the same tournament in two places, but very special. So we're really happy we're here now, and let's go now to support Stan. Thank you.
As she spoke extremely well. And even sitting watching this match is exhausting. I cannot imagine start of the season what that was like to play. But that's why you put in the United Cup. You get loads of matches and you get yourself ready for Melbourne. And that's the goal, isn't it?
That is the goal, and how she has overcome those stressful moments, I think, was very impressive. She mentioned it. There are just these matches where you feel that much more pressure on yourself. And today was one of these matches, and she got herself through. And she mentioned it. I love that. Finally, after 2.5 hours, I managed to turn my brain off and just let my instincts take over. And you have said it before, Sam, she's one of the most instinctual players out there. So if her brain takes over too much, it just hinders her rather than helps her.
Yes, and the instincts told her, change your racket. This one's not working. If the ball's flying too much, get my fiance down. Almost the numbers, it almost seems unfair to look at the numbers given what they've both been through. But if there's anything that stands out for you, Andrea, there, I'd love to hear it.
I think just the backhand winners in the end, because that was that contest that we saw over and over again in the baseline rallies, is who can control the backhand corner. And in the end, it was Belinda Bencic. I think... to be very fair, I think Elise Mertens played a fantastic match herself. I think this was very high quality, and it was just how one is going to play the tiebreak, and that was Belinda Bencic who did it better.
Andrea, thanks for your company. We deserve a cool drink, not an ice bath, but a cool drink. But it's Team Switzerland who take the lead in this first semi-final.